you want to lime wash your bathroom. You're seeing all these pictures. It's giving Tuscan vibes. It's giving, wow, this is much nicer than my bathroom. Well, today I'm going to help you do that. So it's very simple and we'll just get right into it. You're going to need a few simple things, which I'll show here, but I'll write on the screen. Essentially, you need hydrated lime, which this I just found at my local hardware store. You're going to need a paint of your choice with the color that you want. And this just so happens to be in kitchen and bath. It's good for high moisture areas and mildew resistant as well. Another thing you'll want to get is some kind of joint compound. I have the pre-mixed one, but for your application, you could either go with the pre-mixed or the powder. And that's going to be for what we're going to do some earlier texture. Lastly, you're just going to need some water. I use it in this way just so I can add more as I need it based on the mixture that I'm doing. Those are the main products that you'll essentially need in order to get the lime wash done. But some of the other kind of materials that you want to look out for are obviously a big stain brush, something with a lot of large bristles, a small cutting brush, and whatever roller trays or buckets or device that you want to use to hold the paint or mixture basically. Lastly, I cannot stress this enough. If you want to undertake this alone, that's great. If you want to challenge yourself with your partner and paint in a confined space like your bathroom, I encourage however you want to do it. One thing that I will say is that this is the opposite of normal painting. This is not sharp lines and easy flow of strokes and whatnot. No, this is messy. This is actually quite really fun if you're looking to get into a more childlike experience where you're literally painting on the walls in the messiest way possible for honestly a pretty result. So the best way to essentially start is just to take everything out of your bathroom. And if you're a less experienced painter, you might want to pick up yourself some nice painter's tape around things like vanities or toilets, essentially things that you don't want to get paint on or have to clean up later, because this is going to be messy and you are going to have to be cleaning up after yourself later. But using stuff like painter's tape and plastic and drop sheets will just help this process essentially go a lot quicker. So with that being said, I'm going to hand it over to Ben, and he's going to take you from here on how to mix everything together. Ben? Thanks, Ben. So right now I just want to go over a couple of things. One, this is essentially a 3-step process. 3 steps equaling basically each coat that you're going to apply to the wall. And so for the first 2 coats, it's really up to you. It's really up to how you want to make the mixture, what kind of color you want to do. It's really important that this part of the process you recognize your own ability for creativity, your own ability to say, hey, I don't need to follow exactly what this guy is saying. And so that's kind of what the fun of the first 2 coats are. Pretty much all you want to do is for your first and second coat, get as much contrast and much different texture as possible. Go crazy with it. Spray paint on the walls, make it all weird. Your first 2 coats essentially don't matter nearly as much as your third, but are really integral into making sure that you have enough texture and contrast in order to kind of get that kind of feeling of lime wash and that kind of, nice washed aesthetic. So for the first 2 coats, I would probably just recommend a mixture of joint compound and paint and water and lime, and play with the colors, play with the consistency. You want to make sure that it's not too runny and not too dense, but you can have a nice balance of a bit of runny and a bit of dense, right? It's between making a crepe and a waffle, essentially, in terms of the batter that you're using here. So with that, go ahead and just start making your own kind of mix at this point. I assume that you've gone and you've watched this video and you're actually going ahead and deciding to go paint your bathroom. It's a good commitment, but you're going to be very happy with the results, just like we are. And just go have fun for the next few hours. And probably if you're doing it with your girlfriend or boyfriend, just get really, close and claustrophobic with each other and challenge each other and have fun and be playful for once. Don't feel dreading about, oh, painting, it's so boring, I'm just, ugh. This is a fun process and you might be sore afterwards, but the next time you're taking a shit, and you're looking at your wonderful smeared walls, you're gonna thank yourself every time you wipe your ass. So let's get into the next step. I want to show you pretty much kind of the aftermath of what a session of painting your bathroom Limewash can kind of look like. I mean, the tub is dirty, there's paint on the floor everywhere, but I'm pretty happy with the texture, with how it's coming out so far. So I'm gonna clean all my brushes, put away all the paint, put a little bit of the extra for touch-ups later into a container of some kind, and then we'll get back to it in a second. So this is kind of the consistency that I kind of go for here. And it's a little bit like a mud mask. I wouldn't recommend slathering it all over your body, but you know, to each their own. So don't try to be too perfect. There's no perfection in this. It's just a bunch of sloshing around until you get it right. And just have fun with it, honestly. Bye. Now, I'd say this is not far from done, but I'm very happy with how it turned out. That's pretty much how to Limewash your bathroom. There's still a lot of stuff I want to do in here, like the trim and whatnot, but I think overall that was a pretty successful transformation. And it's not perfect, but nobody is. Thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.